everyone from the parking lot of SeaWorld Orlando. I'm filming from the parking lot because we finally got to do preferred parking today. If you are I think it's gold pass member and above, you get preferred parking if it's available, included with your annual pass. The main purpose of today is to do the Inside Look event, which is basically 6 different areas of SeaWorld that you can go behind the scenes and see how they care for the animals, how they prepare things like the animals' food and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I also brought the GoPro to ride some rides as well. So I grabbed one of these explorer's guides from the front kiosk by the entrance. And basically the idea behind this Inside Look is you collect 4 stamps from any one of these 6 locations. You get your stamp down here, you bring it to the SeaWorld Rescue Store, and you get the 2019 Explorer's Pin, Expert Explorer Pin. So that is our goal for today's trip. We're planning on just going to stops 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they make it really easy for you to find where each thing is. You see that sign blowing in the wind. It has a note number 1, and that's stop number 1, the fish house. So this is the fish house, our first stop on the Inside Look tour. Basically sounds like these people are the dietitians for all the animals at SeaWorld. So let's go and see what they have to say.
We have 2 different types that we pretty much saw in here. Our first one is going to be the small type fish. The small one is Cape. This is going to be a big part of the diet for all of our animals here. The second one is this little bigger one. This is herring. So this is going to be the kind of meat and potatoes that all of our animals seem to really love. So that's going to be the 2 main types of fish that we will have in here. We'll deliver the thawed fish, which are going to be these red numbers right here. Everything in red is what we deliver thawed. We also have all these green numbers here with what type they are. That is going to be what we're going to deliver to those areas that is still frozen. Every area has some type of unique fish or something that they might use, and it's small quantities, so they will thaw that stuff themselves.
We just got through with the fish house, which was our first stop on the Inside Look tour, and I'm really excited for the rest of the day. The staff is very knowledgeable. You can ask questions. I think it's going to be a really interesting, informative day.
Birds are the number 1 thing that we rescue here at SeaWorld. There are always going to be birds that need our help. We had 2 bird calls this morning.
In this pool right here, you're welcome to come up, just don't cross the yellow line. This is Manatee number 57. She doesn't have a name per se yet, but she was rescue number 57 of 72 that we did last year. And she's here because unfortunately she was hit by a boat.
Sea turtles that we got all the way from Cape Cod. They got cold stress, so
We got them in November, so it's too cold for them up in Cape Cod. So they were brought right back down here.
So we just got done with our second Inside Look event, and this one was a behind the scenes at where all the rescues are done. So we got to see the boats they use. We got to see the veterinarian stations that they use to help sick animals or just healthy animals with physicals and stuff. This was quite a bit longer than the fish house experience that we did before this one. This was probably about a 30-45 minute tour. So it's very in-depth and you get to see a lot, but it is longer, just FYI. So our next stop is the Manta Aquarium, which is, if you ride Manta, there's an aquarium throughout the queue. So we're gonna get to see the top of that aquarium and see some of the animals that call that aquarium home. So before we enter the aquarium that's in the Manta queue, she told us that to do maintenance on the Manta trains, this section of track shifts over and brings the trains into these maintenance barns.
I mentioned the water earlier. This is actually the salt that we use for most of the smaller aquariums. With the exception of the large aquarium, we use bulk salt for 50-pound bags for that. We use regular city water. We just mix in a formula that we've come up with over the years to provide salt water for the big tank, the shark tank, maintain a lot of the marine systems around the park.
What's his name, or is it
Ricky.
Oh, cute. Oh my gosh, so soft.
We named him after the drummer for Def Leppard, Rick Allen, because he lost an arm in a car accident and is considered one of the best drummers in the world.
Oh,
Ricky is missing an arm as well, so he's our rock star.
oh, he's so cute.
So during this Inside Look event, they also have guest speakers. Today's guest speaker is Chris Fisher from OSearch, and he's going to talk all about ocean conservation. So let's go hear him talk.
Right now, we're in the middle of solving where our great white sharks on the East Coast are mating and where our great white sharks on the East Coast are giving birth, where they forage and where they gestate. I came to learn during that journey that the biggest challenge we have in making sure that we are proud of the planet that we leave our kids is data deficit on the ocean. We don't know where our fish go. So let's just build a team that's in pursuit of abundance. And that is really the beginning of OSearch. But the real trick of the question was, would we be able to capture these large animals and allow the scientists to stand next to them safely and look after the sharks safely and let them go well? But what makes those two things really come together, I think, is the foundation of OSearch, so that we can all be proud of the planet we leave our kids. It's the final lesson from the dinner table from my parents, which was, anything's possible if you don't care who gets the credit. Anything's possible if you do not care who gets the credit. Thanks for having me.
So we just got done seeing Chris Fisher of osearch.org. He and his team are basically tagging these sharks and watching their movement all up along the east coast of the United States and up into Canada. If you go to osearch.org, you can actually see where all the sharks are at any given day. He's bringing that data to us so that we can help save and learn what they're doing, so that we can help conserve our oceans and, you know, teach our children about these habits, and also get them into things like STEM fields. Like, it was such an inspiring talk. Go to osearch.org and learn more about it. You can also follow some of the sharks that they've tagged on Twitter. So we got our 4 animal encounters, so we can go to the SeaWorld Rescue Store and get our pin. I didn't tell you about the 4th one we went to, but you saw the video where we saw Ricky the possum. That was the SeaWorld Animal Ambassador barn type area, and you just got to walk through and see some of SeaWorld's animal ambassadors. Let's head into the store and get our pin. All right, so we did it, guys. We are 2019 SeaWorld Expert Explorers. Pretty cool. And another thing I wanted to mention is that any day of this Inside Look, you can get BOGO tours. All right, guys, so that's it from SeaWorld Orlando today. It was just such a great day. That Inside Look event is so much fun. I learned so much today, and it was so cool to see so many behind the scenes area you don't usually get to see during a regular visit to SeaWorld. Hearing Chris Fisher talk about osearch.org was also really inspiring. Definitely planning to go to that website and track those sharks and see where they're at during a given time. Just to give you a little bit of idea, we got here at about 12:30 and did 4 of the tours in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it does take a good chunk of your day, but if you like theme parks, if you like to see kind of the operations behind a theme park, if you like marine life, definitely take this tour. It's a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot. And I did kind of hear some unofficial information from one of the tour guides that Inside Look will be back in May with the rescue tour that we did today, the longer tour, as well as 5 new Inside Looks coming back in May. So if you're a pass holder, you're visiting in May, definitely plan to incorporate Inside Look into your visit to SeaWorld. So that's it for today. Thanks for coming along, and make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us for more around Florida.